All right, welcome everybody. My name is Ashley Sweeney, dietitian and Star Diamond coach with Beachbody. I'm going to today kind of show how to get started with the 21-day fix, fix extreme, or hammer and chisel with the container system. I know these cute little color-coded containers. It seems easy, and it is easy, but it takes a little bit to get used to, and I know it can feel a little overwhelming at first. So hopefully I'll help break it down a little bit for you. Or if you're considering the program, this might help explain it a little bit more. So when you get the program, I just recommend reading it from start to finish. A lot of your questions will be answered just by reading the program guide. And let me just explain the basic concept of the program. You know, there's calculators within the program that tell you based on your goals, you know, your current weight, what your goals are, and your exercise levels, you know, what calorie bracket you fall within. It's not precise, like it's not going to tell you need exactly 1,500 calories, but what it's going to do is give you a range, which I think is better because not every day you're going to be exactly the same. And then it tells you within that range how many of each colors in the containers you should be having per day to fit the goals. Now the calorie ranges are specifically designed to fit macronutrient needs, which are carb, protein, and fat. So, you know, I don't recommend also counting calories or also counting macros while you are doing this program. Just trust the process, okay? So if let's say you are in the lower tier calorie bracket, you're going to have 3 vegetable servings per day. So 3 greens. And you're going to fill this up all the way to the top with vegetables. And that's going to be your green for the day. That is 3 of those throughout the day. You can do 2 at lunch, 1 at dinner, vice versa, 1 for a snack, 1 at lunch, 1 at dinner. You just spread out your greens throughout the day. And you, again, if you're in the lower calorie bracket, need 3. And then fruits, same thing. You fill up your fruits in this container, and that is how you know how much fruit per day. So these are, the portion sizes are perfect. And then it tells you exactly how many servings of these per day you need. And then you can decide, and we have examples in the meal plans too, you can decide where you are going to have your fruits. Are you going to have one with breakfast and one as afternoon snack? That'd be perfect. And that's how you do your purples. Reds are your proteins, which are, eggs, chicken, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, proteins that are just, foods that's high in protein. And it shows too, like eggs. You're not going to fit eggs in here, or put your eggs in here. So it's 2 eggs, equal 1 serving. And the program guide explains all that. Also, the program guide has the food list for each color and what are the recommended food items, and it's listed in order, so the better choices are at top and the ones you should avoid are at the bottom. So just so you know as you're looking at your food list. Your yellows are your carbs. If you're in the lower calorie bracket, you only have 2 of these a day. I know it doesn't seem like enough, but trust me, you feel great when you're on the program. I will say if you're a runner or if you're doing a lot of extra exercise on top of the recommended, in the programs, I do usually recommend 1 extra yellow, especially for my long distance runner friends. Blues are going to be your healthy fats, your avocados, cheeses, hummus, nuts, and again, you fill the program or fill the little container up all the way, and that's how you know how much you're going to have. And same thing with the oranges, which are your seeds and nuts, seeds and dressings, like salad dressings and stuff. And you aren't supposed to actually eat out of these containers. It's really just for measuring purposes, just so you know when you get your program. Really, get your reds, fill it up to measure it, and then put it in another container to eat it. It's just best, that's how it's recommended to do throughout the program. Now, the first thing to do is decide how you're going to track how many containers you're having each day. What I like to do, what I prefer to do, and what I recommend is I have this little tracker, which I can email you if I'm your coach, or in our groups I've posted this. It's just a Word document you print it out, and it has at the bottom you're going to put your goal for whatever calorie bracket you are in. So if you are in the lowest calorie bracket, it's going to say your goal is going to be 3 greens, 2 purples, 4 reds, and then you throughout the day are going to just track how many you have throughout the day, and this is going to be how you know whether or not you hit your goal each day with getting the containers that you need. And then I also recommend, at the bottom it has like a little cheat sheet, and then you can also track your water. Make sure you're drinking enough water. So when you get your program guide, each program guide, the 21-day fix, hammer and chisel, the extreme, the programs that use the containers will have little calorie charts. So it's going to have a calculator. It's going to say, start here. If you are this weight, you do this, and then how to calculate your needs and which bracket you will fall within. and then how many of each containers you need per day. So it takes the guesswork out of knowing, you know, how many carbs should I have? How much protein do I need? Just, again, trust the process. Make sure to take your before and after pictures and your before and after measurements, because you know, the weight on your scale just isn't always the most accurate reflection of your progress. And I hate it when I see, you know, customers and clients who don't take their before and after pictures and they feel like they didn't, you know, they feel great and they feel energized, but they didn't lose weight. And I'm saying, look at your before and after pictures. I can see the difference in your belly, in your face. You're losing weight. So just make sure that you are, you know, the programs also come with these little trackers show, you know, to just take your before and after, shows you where to take your measurements and how to take your pictures. You can keep it private. You can log it on Team Beachbody on your website. I won't see, like your coach will not see what you track on your website. It's only for your personal usage and for your own personal tracking. Some other things that I've learned is if you are feeling so stressed out and so overwhelmed about the containers, just take a little step back and just remember there's a range within these calories. So the calorie bracket, for example, goes from 1,200 to 1,500 calories. My 1,200 to 1,500 calories is going to be different than your 1,200 to 1,500 calories. That's because I may choose a blue that is made up of different calorie content than your blue. Same thing with my reds and my yellows. My calorie content within my food choices may be different than yours. And I want to say that variety is so important. So make sure that you are not always eating, you know, the same blues every day. I mean, realistically you could, but nutrients, that's why we vary our nutrients to get different, or vary our food so we get different nutrients. So make sure to mix things up. And I believe that it's okay if you sometimes have 2 blues and 0 oranges for the day. Sometimes you just want to have your hummus and your avocado, or cheese and hummus. So just know that occasionally it's okay if you have 2 blues and 0 oranges, or vice versa on some days. If you are feeling extra hungry, it's okay to have an extra red or to choose these first before you go to like carbs. Have an extra red or have an extra green before you go to other food options when you're feeling really hungry. And then if you are pregnant or nursing, bump yourself up to the next calorie level. That's just going to ensure that you're getting enough nutrients for your milk or for your baby, and just during that important time, it's most important to be keeping up your nutrition. So just make sure you're bumping it up to the next level. And if you find that you, after sticking with it for a few days, 4 or 5 days maybe, and you still are famished, you're so hungry, then I might recommend bumping yourself up to the next calorie level. And again, it's a person to person, so if you want to talk about it, feel free to message me and we can talk more. Or if you, again, feel like it's way too many calories and you need to bump yourself down, there's a guide for a reason, and you're meant to follow it. But again, it's also a guide. It's not, you know, black or white for everybody. We all have different needs. So just know that, again, that's why there's some variation. It's okay if you're not perfect. And little things you'll start to learn, like it's okay once you've gotten used to the program and you've started, you know, being able to, you know, really see how much goes into the containers, you'll start to eyeball things. Like with recipes that may not be designed specifically for 21 Day Fix, I'm really good now at just estimating this is approximately 1 red, this is approximately 1 yellow. So for example, if you're going out to eat, there is examples in the 21 Day Fix guide for how to, you know, calculate pizza, for example. But stir fries or things like that I may not technically be portioned out in the fixed ways, do your best to estimate, and it's okay if it's not 100% perfect. I just have to say that because that is something that stresses people out like crazy. And just don't, you know, this is designed to keep you going for a lifestyle. It's not designed to be 21 Day Fix and you're done and you go back to your old ways. This really helps teach portion control and management, and, you know, and just understanding what's best for your body and what's best to feel like when you're eating right. So give yourself a little bit of leeway sometimes when you aren't 100% perfect, and do your best to estimate. It's okay. So let me know if you have any questions. If you don't have a coach and you want me as your coach, I'm happy to help you out. Email me, ashleysweeneyrd@gmail.com, and I'll talk to you soon.